All right. So good morning, everyone. Hope you're feeling bright and well this morning. Let's come onto our mats and come into child's pose. Okay. So take the knees nice and wide apart. Bring the big toes together. And you can either rest your hands forward or take them down by your sides, whichever feels best for you. Rest your forehead on the mat. Let's take some deep breaths here. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And let everything begin to release. Maybe have a little wiggle in your hips. And start to allow the body to get heavy and drop down towards the earth. So the only thing that you need to do here is release your weight to the earth. And start to deepen your breathing. So we'll do a counting of the breath here in child's pose. Inhale for the count of 5. Pause for a couple of beats. And then exhale for 9. Good. Inhale for 5. Pause at the top. And exhale for 9. Inhale for 5. Pause. Exhale for 9. Inhale 5. Pause. Exhale 9. Inhale 5. Pause. Exhale 9. And then let your breathing come back to its natural state. Good. Press down into your hands and look up. And then let's come up onto all fours. Bring the knees underneath the hips, wrists underneath the shoulders. And take a little movement here. However feels good for you. Good. And then press down into your fingers and your thumbs. Lift up through the palms of the hands, broaden the shoulders across the back. So you've got a nice strong tabletop back. Think about dropping the tailbone back in a way. And take the crown of the head forward. Good. Take a couple of breaths here. So things are active. Arms are active, hands are active, tops of the feet are active. But there's an opening and a sense of release in the spine. And then inhale. As we exhale, let's press into the tops of the feet, lower the crown of the head, tuck the tailbone, lift the belly button up towards the spine, rounding your back. And then inhaling, coming into the fingertips, the thumb tips, bringing the spine forward, eyes forward, tail up, shoulders away from you. Exhale, press into the tops of the feet, lower the crown of the head, lower the tailbone, lift the belly up, empty the body of breath. Inhaling, down through the forefingers, down through the thumbs, spine comes forward, heart lifts, eyes lift, tail lift. Maybe the corners of your mouth lift. And exhale, rounding the spine. Good. Keep moving like this between cat-cow for a few more breaths. And on your next exhalation, sink your hips back over your heels, briefly come back to child pose. And then walk your hands up, come to a kneeling pose. If kneeling's uncomfortable, take your feet out from under you and sit. Just want to really quickly go over Ujjayi breath. So I don't know if the microphone on Zoom picks it up, but often when I'm exhaling in the yoga practice, I'm exhaling in this way. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's a sort of, sometimes it's described as a Darth Vader exhale. And what it is that I'm sort of rasping the air over the back of my throat. Now that's called a Ujjayi breath. And the way to do this breath, it's a very cleansing breath that takes everything out of the body. And the way to do it is to, first of all, imagine that you're fogging a mirror. So make the sound. So open your mouth and imagine you're fogging a mirror in front of you. And you feel how the air comes over the back of your throat there. And the throat sort of closes and it makes this ha sound, this Darth Vader-y sound. Now close your mouth and make the same noise, make the same action with your mouth closed. And that, my friends, is the Ujjayi breath. So it's a really lovely breath to practice during the yoga practice. So let's come back to cat-cow, do a couple more breaths and see if on the exhalation you can do that Ujjayi breath. So back with there, onto all fours, dome up through the palms of your hands, get yourself settled before going into it, and then inhaling, lifting the tail up, taking the spine forward, eyes up, and exhale. Ujjayi breath, mouth closed. So you're exhaling through the nose, but you're taking the air over the back of the throat. Inhale, eyes up, heart up. Exhale. Good, couple more breaths. Wiggle out that last one and then come back to a neutral spine. Let's do a little shoulder stretch with the thread of the needle. So pick up the right hand, thread it underneath your left, come down onto the top of the shoulder, onto your right ear and roll yourself back a little bit. So press into your left hand and roll yourself back into your back body. You can stay here or walk the hand forward, a bit more of a stretch in that left side. So here I'm not doing the Ujjayi breath. I'm just breathing in and out of my mouth. It would be uncomfortable to do Ujjayi, and I don't know how effective it would be either because of the twist in my body. So as you move through your practice, you sort of have an idea of when Ujjayi works and when it doesn't. And you can play around with that for yourself. Good. Walk the hand back in, press down into that left hand, come back onto all fours. I'm going to swivel around, but you don't have to. Pick up the left hand and thread that through the right. Press into your right hand so you roll further back into your body, increasing that stretch across the top of the left shoulder. And then stay here or walk the right hand up. And then bring that right hand back, press into your right hand, come up onto all fours. And have a little movement here on all fours. Walk your hands forward, come down onto your forearms, lift the tailbone up and take the crown of the head to the floor. Think about melting your chest into the floor, into the mat. And then staying on your forearms, press yourself up, rock your body forward to come into Sphinx pose. You might need to take your elbows a little bit further forward so that they are underneath your shoulders. So you really want to have your arms at right angles for this posture. Notice if they're forward, notice if they're splaying out. Bring them tight into your body so that your shoulders are directly over your elbows. And make a sort of square or rectangle shape on the floor with your arms. Press into your forearms, into your hands. Take your shoulders away from your ears and soften your gaze as you look forward for Sphinx pose. Good. And then keeping your chin on a level, so you're not lifting it up or twisting, but just keeping it on a level. Inhale, and as you exhale, turn to the right side. Feel that stretch from the crown of the head to the tip of the left toes, all through the left side of the body. Try not to collapse here. So collapsing would look like this. Chin meets shoulder. Keep pressing into the forearms, keeping that chest open. Good. Come back to center. Inhale. And exhale. Turn the head over the left shoulder. Inhale. Come back to center. And release the arms. Take your forehead onto the floor, let your shoulders drop down by your sides. Inhale. Exhale. Press, actually turn the palms of your hands down. Press into your hands a little as you lift your head, neck and shoulders off the floor for a little Shavasana locust pose. Stay here, or if you want to lift your legs up and your arms up for full locust pose, do, but just take the half if that feels better right now. And then lower back down. Take your hands underneath your shoulders, press into your hands, rock back up onto all fours. Tuck the toes under and let's lift the hips for Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Let the crown of the head drop towards the floor. Shake your head, yes. And no, loosening off any tension in the neck. And then pedal the knees a few times. Good. Wiggle the hips a little bit. Take some movement in your downward facing dog. And then come to stillness for a couple of breaths. Now here you can practice Ujjayi breath. Walk your feet towards your hands. Press down into the feet as you lift the tailbone up. Keep the knees soft. Take a hold of your elbows and let yourself hang here in Uttanasana. And then maybe have a little swing in your hips. Good. Release your arms and press into the feet to roll yourself up to standing. Rolling the shoulders back, and head comes up. And we find ourselves in Tadasana. So feet hip width apart. Let's pick up the toes, spread the toes, place them back down again, pick up the heels, lift the arches of the feet. So draw the heels towards the toes and place them back down again. Soften the knees. Soften the knees and maybe take them out slightly if they've knocked in a little bit. Let the pelvis open, tailbone drops down towards the floor, shoulders roll back and away, head and neck. Our relaxed crown of the head lifting towards the sky. Close your eyes here. If you start to feel if you start to feel dizzy, you can open them, but soften the gaze so you're not staring forward. Good, and then open your eyes, keep your gaze soft. Inhale, lift the arms up. Lift the eyes up, look at the fingers, and then exhale, bring them down towards your heart center. And we'll do that again. Inhale, lift. And exhale, hands down. Again. Couple more times. Deep breaths. And this time, keeping your thumbs resting on your breastbone, keeping your thumbs at your heart center. Breathe into your thumbs. Good. Release the hands. Make sure you have a little room to step back on your mat and step back with the left leg. Take the right leg forward. Let's bend that front knee and sweep the arms up for Virabhadrasana 1. So make sure that the weight is even through both feet. Release through the back heel, spread through the ball of the front foot, lift up through the breastbone and sternum. Tailbone drops away. Your gaze steady and forward. Virabhadrasana 1. Warrior 1 pose. Good. Straighten that front leg, but without locking the knee joint. And take the arms wide. Let's come into Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Inhale. And exhale as you bring the spine forward. And then start to rotate, taking right hand to right shin or ankle, left arm up towards the ceiling. Good. Come down through the feet as you rotate back to center. Press into your arms, lift back up. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, take the hands wide like a cactus, like that. And feel the opening in the chest. Good. Lower the arms back down. Take the hands behind you, interlace the fingers. Bend the front knee back into Warrior 1 legs. Lift the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, lift the arms behind you. Keep the weight even through both feet. Inhale. And exhale, bring the chest forward. A humble warrior. So the ribs, the right ribs come to the inside of the right thigh. As you lower the crown of the head, let the arms lift up. Keep your weight even through both feet, so really release through the back heel. Good, and then release the arms. Sweep the arms down, and as you press down through the feet, lift back up. Virabhadrasana 1. Bend that front knee deeply, step forward to come out. Good. Bend the knees a few times, do whatever you need to, and then step back with the right leg. Good. We're going to bend the front knee as we sweep the arms up. Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Weight even through both feet, lifting through the arches of both feet. Feeling the four corners of the feet resting into the earth. Tailbone drops, breastbone lifts. Breathe. Enjoy this posture. Good, and then straighten that front leg without locking the knee joint. Oh, take the arms wide. Inhale. And as you exhale, bring the spine forward. Start to rotate so that the left hand comes to left shin or ankle, right arm lifts up. Utthita Trikonasana. Good. And then revolve back to center, press down through the feet. Inhale, sweep the arms up, bend the front knee, and take the hands into a cactus pose. Bring the arms behind you, interlace the fingers the opposite way to how you had them last time. Take the hands up and away as you squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale. And as you exhale, come forward with the spine. Keep that front knee bent. Take the left ribs to the inside of the left knee. Keep coming down through the back heel as you lower the crown of the head and lift the arms. If you're a little bit wobbly here, you can wiggle your front foot out to the side a little to help with stability. Good. Release your hands. Sweep the arms down as you press into the feet, lift back up. Virabhadrasana 1. Good. One more breath here. And then bend the front knee deeply, step forward, come back to Tadasana, and shake everything out. So bring your feet back together we are going to Uttanasana for Tadasana. Take a moment, feel the feet lift up through the arches of the feet. Good. Let's inhale, sweep the arms up, and exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward, bring the hands down, Uttanasana. Now, if your hands don't reach the floor and you're hanging out sort of here, then bend the knees so that you can bring your fingertips onto the floor. We're going to take the right hand into the middle, take the left hand onto your sacrum, press into the right hand as you roll the left shoulder up towards the ceiling, and then lift the left arm up. You can come onto your fingertips if that's easier. Straighten the legs as much as you're able, but don't worry if they're really bent. If you're here, that's fine. But try not to lock the knees out. Good, breathe. And then come back to center. Pause for a moment here in Uttanasana. And then take the left hand into the center, right hand onto your sacrum, roll the right shoulder up towards the ceiling. So you're twisting, the ribs are twisting around, and lift the right arm up. Play with where your hand feels best, either flat, fingertips, fist. And then come back to center. Heel toe your feet so that they are a little bit wider, say mat width apart. And then bend one knee and then the other, just loosening up the lower body. You get a bit tight sometimes when we're doing postures. And then press into the feet, roll yourself back up. Take a moment, heel toe the feet back in to Tadasana. Let's take a wide stance, wide-ish, not your widest, because we're going to come into Virabhadrasana 2. So feet facing forward and then turn the right foot so that it's at a right angle to your left foot. Bring the heel in slightly Sometimes we can have it, the foot a little bit at an angle. So bring the heel in slightly and then bend that front knee. As you bend that knee, your weight will come forward. That's okay. Bring it so it comes over the ankle. And then take the knee out a little bit. So encourage the knee out so that it's in line with your big toe. Now come down through the little toe edge of your back foot and root into the big toe of your back foot. Feel your tailbone dropping down towards the floor and the opening in your hips. You can roll the flesh of your inner thigh around the bone to encourage that opening in both legs. Okay, let's inhale, lift the arms up, float the arms up, and then let them come out to the sides. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Gaze over your right fingers. Virabhadrasana 2. Good, breathe. And then straighten that front leg, lower the arms, turn the foot back to center, pause for a moment, and turn the left foot out. And do exactly the same as you did on the right side, on the left side. So really take your time to build the foundations of this posture. So pressing the knee outwards, rolling the flesh of the inner thighs around the bones, coming down through the little toe edge of the back foot, lifting through the arches of both feet before you lift the arms. Notice if you have a tendency to move forward here and bring yourself back a little. Soften the shoulders with each breath. One more breath here. And then relax. The arms, straighten the front leg, turn the toes in. Good. Now take your legs a little bit wider if that's available to you. For Prasarita Padottanasana, forward fold. Take your hands onto your hips, inhale. And then hinge at the hips. So actually take your hands, take your fingers to the crease where your thigh meets your pelvis. And as you hinge, think about bringing the pelvis over your fingers. Good. Nice flat back. And then lower the crown of the head towards the floor. Slide your hands down your legs to wherever they come. Bring your weight forward slightly more into the balls of your feet. And let the head and neck release. We'll take another twist here. So bring the left hand down. Take your right hand onto your sacrum. And again, press into that left hand as you roll the right shoulder up towards the ceiling, lifting the arm up. Good. And then come back to center. Switch hands. Take your left hand onto your sacrum. Roll the shoulder open. And then lift the arm. Come back to center. Walk your hands over to your right foot. Pause for a couple of breaths. Come back to center. And walk your hands over to your left foot. And pause. Come back to center. Bring your hands onto your hips Press down through the feet, lift halfway, nice flat back, shoulders away from ears, and then press into the feet, come all the way back. Good. Bring the heels in, but keep the toes where they are. And we're going to come into a wide leg squat, a goddess pose. So drop the knees, but think about taking the knees outwards as you sink the hips down. Good, so chest stays lifted. Think about the base of your body dropping towards the floor. Keep rolling the knees open. You can encourage it with your hands if that feels good. Keep taking the heels in and the toes out. Good, and then press through the feet, come back up. If you need to change your stance a little, do. I need to just bring my feet in slightly and we'll come back down. Actually, that was totally cheating. Right, okay. We'll come back down into our goddess squat. Right, take your hands to your heart. Inhale, lift up slightly. Exhale, drop down, shoulders, release. Try not to be up like this. Inhale, lift up a little. Knees are still bent, but keep lifted. And then exhale, sink back down. Good. Inhale, lift, exhale, sink. Good. This time take your arms wide in that cactus pose. Deep breaths. And then to finish it off, let's end with a lion's breath. So this is the one where you stick your tongue out and go. So inhale, and exhale, and again. One more. Good. Release the hands, press into the feet to straighten the legs, and the heel to the legs back into center. Give them a wig, or give them a shake. Woo! Feeling the leg burn on that one. Okay. Come back to Tadasana. And hopefully you're feeling a bit more alive in your body now, a bit more woken up. Inhale, lift the arms up, bring the fingers to touch. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward, Uttanasana. Step or jump back to plank. Send the heels away, press up through the arms. Hips and shoulders are in one line, strong, breathe. Good, and then lower the knees. Bend the elbows, bring the arms in tight to the body as you bring yourself onto knees, chest, chin, or 8-pointed pose. And then slide the belly onto the floor, flatten the tops of the feet, press into the hands, send the shoulders and the elbows away, and lift up for Cobra pose. Good. Press back onto all fours, tuck your toes, walk your hands in a little so that your dog isn't quite so long, and then lift up for downward facing dog. I'm going to stay here in down dog for a little while, so if at any point you want to have a rest, come down into child's pose. Okay, let's lift the right leg up, stretch that right leg behind you, and then we're going to press into the left foot and lift the right leg really high. Good. And then bring it back down. Let the heels drop towards the floor again. Lift the left leg up, take it to hip height to start with. Flex the toes, reach that leg away, and then press into your right leg as you lift the left leg high into the sky. And bring it back down again. Good, now we're going to lift the right leg up and then bend the right knee, bring it into the chest, and take your right knee towards your right elbow and lift it back up again. This time, bend the knee, bring it into the chest, take it to your left elbow, and lift it back up again. This time, bend the knee, take it to your nose, and lift it back up again. Good. Bring the right leg back down, pause, lift the left leg up. Bend the knee, draw it into the chest, take knee to left elbow, and lift up. Bend the knee, take the knee to right elbow, and lift back up. Then bend the knee, bring it to nose. Good, and lift back up. Take a breath and down dog, and then come onto your knees and rest in child's pose. It might be nice to take your arms down by your sides for this child's pose. Good, and then when you're ready, come back onto all fours, tuck your toes, lift your hips. We're going to do all that again and add a little onto the end. So get yourself really comfortable here in downward facing dog. Lift the right leg up, stretch it up towards the ceiling, bend the knee, draw it into your chest, take it to right elbow, lift it up. Good, keep breathing, you're doing great. Take it to left elbow. Lift. Take your knee to your nose. And then lift again. Stay lifted. Bend the knee this time, but drop the heel towards the buttock. And lift that right knee up towards the ceiling as you look under your right armpit. Good. Breathe. And then bring it back down. You can take a pause here in child's pose. Just roll out the wrists for a moment. Good, and then let's come back up. Breathe, pause, everything's gonna be okay. Just do as much as feels good for you of this sequence. Lift the left leg up. Good, draw the knee into your chest. Take to left elbow. Lift, draw the knee in. Right elbow. Lift, draw the knee into nose. Good, lift, keep lifting that leg. Bend the knee, take the heel towards the buttocks. Lift that left knee up towards the ceiling. Look under your left armpit. Breathe. And then come back down. Come onto your knees. Release the wrists. Have a little rest in Balasana Child's Pose. Now we're going to go one step further with this. This is not mandatory. You don't have to do this. It might be an idea to just have a little watch with me before we do it. So we're going to lift up into downward facing dog, and then we're going to flip our dog into a reverse dog, or sometimes it's called wild thing, which I quite like. So if you want to have a look, if you know how to do it, just get on and do it. If you want to have a look at me doing it first, then do. So we start in Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And then we lift the right leg up to begin with, bend that knee, open up the hip so the right knee starts to move towards the ceiling. At this point, I'm going to swivel on my left foot and start to turn the heel in, press into that left foot, into that left hand, lift the right hand up, take the foot down, point my left toes, and press into my left arm to lift the chest up towards the sky. Breathe. And then swivel back round. And into down dog. And then take a rest. before doing the other side. Okay, so if that looked like hell to you, then you can stay up and down dog. You might want to just lift the leg, lift the knee up, open the hips. If that looked like fun to you, then let's give it a go. So downward facing dog. Lifting the leg up. You can start on your left side. I'm now doing, you can start on your right side if you want. I'm doing the left. We're going to lift the leg up. Bend the knee, take the heel towards the buttocks. Start to open that knee up towards the ceiling. And then swivel onto the little toe edge and heel of your standing leg. Take the top leg down. Point the standing leg toes away and press up. You can take your hand onto your heart if that helps to lift the chest towards the ceiling. And then open the arm up. This is a very expansive posture. Breathe. Good. And then swivel back. Whee! Lift the leg. And back to downward facing dog. And rest in child's pose. And then have a go on the other side. I'll demonstrate it one more time. So you can have a look at me if you're feeling a bit confused. And then when you've had enough, come into Balasana. And give yourself a pat on the back. Good. Press down into the shins, roll up to sitting. Slide your feet from underneath you, so we come into a mermaid posture. So your two knees are facing forward and your 2 feet are behind you. If you feel a bit collapsed in your right side, you can take a blanket or a cushion and prop your right side up if that feels better. That actually feels quite nice this morning. Take your left hand to your right knee, right hand out in front, inhale. Exhale, twist around, come onto your right fingertips. Keep your breastbone, your chin in line with your breastbone. Shoulders drop away. Good. Inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Remove your cushion if you're using one. Switch your legs. Just for evenness, I'm going to use my blanket on the other side. Take your right hand to the outside of your left knee, left hand out in front. Inhale. Exhale as you bring yourself around. Inhale up into the spine and exhale, perhaps there's a little more room to twist around. One more breath. On the exhalation, come back to center, remove any accoutrements. Let's take the legs out wide. Upper Vista Konasana. Take a moment to remove the flesh from underneath your buttocks so you can feel your sitting bones, have a little wobble on your sitting bones. Rest your heels into the floor. Take a bend in your knee if your hamstrings are tight and if it's pulling on your lower back. Let's just take a moment here in Upper Vista Konasana. The other thing that you can do if your hamstrings are tight is sit, lift your hips slightly and sit on your blanket. That can help a lot too. So let your hands just rest gently on your thighs or on your knees. And close your eyes, tuck your chin in slightly, root down through your heels. We're going to lift up the left foot and take it to the, and just take it inwards. So bring it in towards our groin. It doesn't have to touch the thigh of the right leg, but just bring it in towards your groin as much as is comfortable for you. Turn your right palm up towards the ceiling and rest it on your leg. Inhale, lift the left arm up. And exhale, we're going to slide the right arm down as we bring the left arm over our ear and look up towards the ceiling. Think about rolling your ribs open. So rolling the left ribs open. Inhale. And as you exhale, come back up, release that arm. Gently take the left leg back into Upper Vista Konasana. Pause. And then bend the right knee. Take the right foot in. Left hand, palm facing up. Right hand, fingertips on floor. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale, lift that right arm up. And exhale, slide the hand down the left leg as you roll your right ribs open towards the sky. Good. Inhale, lift that arm up and exhale it down. Come back to Upper Vista Konasana. Take your hands behind you, just by your hips. Come onto your fingertips. Press into your fingertips. And lift up through the breastbone. So you should feel yourself rocking forward slightly in your pelvis here. Good. Breathe. Stay here. Or if you'd like to slowly start to make your way forward, you can. Using your exhalation. Keep rooting the heels down into the floor. You can keep your hands here, or if you wish to bring them in front of you, then do. Tuck the chin. Think about coming forward with the crown of the head rather than dropping down. Using your legs as anchors, so rooting through the heels. Doesn't matter if the knees are bent. Take one more full breath here. And then press down into your heels as you lift yourself back up. Take a hold underneath your knees, bend your knees, draw the feet in, soles of the feet together. Let the knees drop out to the side, Baddha Konasana. Good. Take one more breath here. And now it's time for Shavasana. So take your blanket, put some socks on, a jumper on if you wish, and lie yourself back for Shavasana. Let your your feet flop in towards each other and then flop out. Take your arms away from your body, palms facing up. Tuck your chin, lengthening through the back of the neck. If this is a little uncomfortable on your lower spine, then take your rolled up blanket and place it underneath your knees. Take a deep breath and then let your breathing slow and start to come into its natural place. Close your eyes. Start to feel everything drop and release into the floor. Let the forehead become soft, the space between your eyebrows. Let your shoulders nestle into the floor. Take these few moments where there is nothing to do and nowhere to go. If you're able to stay for a few minutes longer, then please do stay in Shavasana. It's so good for us to take this rest. But if you have to get on with your day, then roll to one side. Use your arm as a pillow as you pause. And then using your hands, gently press yourself up to sitting. And come to a comfortable seat. So keep your eyes closed, bring your hands onto your heart. Take a breath into your heart space. And we'll end to the sound of Om. Take a deep breath in. Bring your hands together and bow your head in gratitude for this day, for your practice, for everything you have, for everything you are. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May peace and peace and peace be everywhere. Namaste. Thanks for joining me again, guys. Have a beautiful day in this beautiful sunshine, and I shall see you again tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.